On May 19, 2026, 2,000 feet beneath the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, the world's most advanced autonomous drilling system went completely dark. It hadn't suffered a mechanical failure. It hadn't run out of power. Project Vulcan, the Department of Defense's multi-million-dollar AI excavator, simply stopped grinding because it had hit something the granite was never supposed to contain. For 48 hours, NORAD command monitors above flashed with system intercept warnings. The artificial intelligence running the drill had locked down its own operating system after being bombarded by a high-frequency signal coming directly from the solid rock wall in front of it. The military didn't pull the machine out. Instead, they evacuated the lower shafts, deployed armed tactical units to the core perimeter, and brought in a classified team of quantum cryptologists. The mission was no longer about drilling. It was about decoding a language that shouldn't exist. The leaked telemetry data logs show that the 11-digit alphanumeric sequence wasn't a random error code generated by the drill software. It was an active, responsive broadcast loop. When the NSA's quantum computing grid was linked to the deep core sensors, the translation sent shockwaves through the command structure. The code was a countdown, combined with a highly precise spatial coordinate system. But what terrified the cryptologists wasn't just the message, it was the architecture of the signal itself. The broadcast was using a multidimensional quantum polarization technique, a technology that the U.S. military is still decades away from mastering. The signal wasn't a warning meant for the surface. It was an automated digital handshake triggered specifically by the plasma cutter's thermal signature. Project Vulcan hadn't stumbled onto a natural anomaly. It had accidentally woken up an automated subterranean grid. As the decryption matrix dug deeper into the transmission metadata, it uncovered a structural directory, a master blueprint of the Earth's lower crust. The Cheyenne Mountain broadcast was just a single node in a larger, interconnected global network. The leaked documents map out 7 distinct deep core anomalies buried across the North American continent, all resting at uniform depths of precisely 3,200 meters. The coordinates for these nodes align perfectly with the country's most heavily guarded, restricted military installations. For decades, the public believed these bases were built on specific geographic locations for tactical airspace defense. The 2026 leaks suggest a much darker alternative. The fortresses were built over these pre-existing, ancient subterranean energy signatures to monitor them, to study them, and to keep the public from ever detecting the grid below. On May 24, 2026, the mechanical thudding beneath the mountain completely stopped. The 4.4 Hz frequency that independent geophysicists had been tracking didn't fade away. It shifted. It turned into a continuous, highly focused acoustic wave that began physically altering the molecular structure of the surrounding granite. Reports from inside the lower shaft state that the ambient temperature dropped instantly from 300 degrees down to absolute zero within minutes, defying all laws of thermodynamics. The air inside the cavern became so heavily ionized that electronic devices began short-circuiting outside of the protective Faraday cages. This wasn't just data communication anymore. The subcrust node had converted its broadcast into a defensive resonant shield, completely cutting off Project Vulcan and sealing the breach with an impenetrable wall of kinetic energy. The latest leaks from the Cheyenne Mountain Cyber Network indicate that Level 4 has been placed under absolute, permanent blackout. The data streams have been cut. The civilian scientists have been reassigned under strict non-disclosure agreements, and the autonomous drills remain trapped in the deep freeze of the core. But the signal hasn't stopped broadcasting. It is growing stronger, and the other 6 nodes across the continent are beginning to echo the frequency. In Part 3 of this Unresolved Truths megadocumentary, We will dive into the classified military responses and trace the global network that this breach just activated. Comment Blackout right now if you're ready to see the full continental grid map. The mountain is silent, but the crust is moving. Stay tuned.